Hello YouTube, Leah here, and today I'm sharing a small collection of hand-bound books that I've been making. These are all what I'd call scrap paper sketchbooks. I think they're not quite interesting enough to fit into the category of junk journal. They're just little collections of scrap paper all bound together. And these are all made out of tea boxes as well, mostly recycled material in them, because I hate throwing things out. So I'll take these basically from the least to most interesting. It's roughly chronological, as I've found more stuff, particularly on YouTube, about joke journals and things, and basically changed up how I'm compiling these. So they're all Coptic bound in cardboard covers. They have all got 5 signatures each. It seems like 5 signatures is kind of the minimum that really works with a Coptic stitch book. So this one in a lemon and mandarin pucker box. I've left the little punched out opening mechanism on there because the spine's exposed anyway, so it doesn't make a huge amount of difference as far as I'm concerned. Let's just have a little flip through. There's nothing too terribly exciting in here. The binding is done in 3 colours of embroidery thread. We've got plain paper, coloured paper. This is all cartridge paper. It's mostly the same weight, just out of plain paper that I had lying around. There's a few pages that are a little bit heavier weight in there. Signature's all blank. It's got a yellow in it. That one's got a green page in the signature. And that cover is completely unadorned as well. It's just a sketchbook. These come to around about an A6 size. They average out. The pucker boxes, the Twinings boxes are overall smaller than an A6, but not very much. Though this is in a chamomile tea box with blue embroidery thread binding. We've got a wider variety of paper in here. So we've got grid papers out of old maths exercise books, little scraps of coloured paper, tissue paper, lined pages, blank pages, a little sheet of, that's layout paper, slightly different texture in there. There's just the one page in here that's a different size. And one with punches from the edge of the refill pad. I try and match the colour of the binding to something that's on the cover. It just looks a little bit nicer. So this one's an echinacea and raspberry. Again, I haven't adorned the cover at all, but this one's got some slightly more interesting paper in. I really like putting envelopes and things in these, especially when they've still got the windows in. It just adds an interesting extra thing. The inside, the sort of security pattern on the inside of envelopes as well is really nice. This is sketchbook paper, so that's a little bit heavier. The other side of the envelope I've split so that it's 2 pages. This is out of the Edinburgh Festival programmes from last year that we picked up when we were there over the summer. And school exercise books, sketchbooks. This is a page of handout photocopied from a textbook that we were given for, I think, probably my thinking journalism module at university. A little paint chip in there for in a little corner tuck. A little bit of coloured paper. Now all of these I haven't worked in, probably won't work in. A6 isn't really my size. I've discussed before, I particularly like working in an A5 size. It's just right for my purposes. It's not too big, it's not too small. So these are all available if people want them, and there's enough interest to motivate me to sort out an Etsy or something. So if you like the look of any of these, do please let me know, because you might be able to get your hands on them. Now this one I have in fact put a little bit of embellishment on, just some washi tape, and I've then varnished that as well with an acrylic varnish. That's because these panels are from the sides of the box, and they got a little bit torn up in transit, and I've done a slightly more interesting thing on the binding there. I've got some scrapbook papers in here. These are from Poundland. It's the same pack that is featured in the Smash book I made for myself. Sometimes it's fun to have the lines going the wrong way. Tissue paper again. I really like the variety of textures you can get by using scrap paper. We've got a map from just a tourist information leaflet about Bristol. This is the information leaflet for my contraceptive pills. Just a slightly different sized page, because if you're putting something together that's this small, you might as well use up your scrap paper. A slightly different texture. The medicine leaflet pages are actually really nice to draw on. A paper bag from the British Museum. I've got a habit of picking up postcards everywhere I go, so I've always got little paper museum gift bags hanging around. That's another piece of the same brown envelope that was in the Echinacea book. Bristol City Council. And finally, we've got the most junky of these. Again, we haven't got the cover embellished. I don't find the embellished covers that some people do particularly appealing, because they get quite bulky, and it seems to me like it'd be more difficult to work in it once you've done that. This is actually sewn up with sewing thread, because I'd lost the bag of embroidery threads I'd got in the house, but we have still got that little exposed bit there. But this one I put together after I'd got my sewing machine, so we've got some stitching and stuff in here as well. Got magazine pages. I really liked this Gucci advertising campaign. Pages out of a 2016 diary that I didn't finish because I got a traveller's notebook with nicer calendar pages in. It's got the little ledger sections and stuff in there, which I thought was fun. A little bit of stitch detailing along the edge there. And this is stitched up to form a little pocket inside of another envelope. Slightly narrower ruled paper. A little envelope window. Another scrap of that bit of textbook. This one, I've got a big loop on this side and a small pocket on this side. Photocopies from a colouring book. A little bit of envelope with another little bit of stitching. It's quite interesting how that's torn as it's gone through the plastic there, so the stitching is straight even though it went in zigzagged. That'll focus back. And a little scrap of scrap paper, scrapbook paper, a little stitch detail. And that's the end of that. I am going to continue making these because they are cute and fun, and I have vast quantities of stashed paper, but I don't currently have much to do with them except for occasionally giving them away on my Tumblr blog, which is Sticking and Colouring, if you're not already following me there. So if you might be interested in buying these, do let me know. If you've got any other comments or feedback that you wanted to offer about these, I can't guarantee I'll listen, but you are welcome to say it, and thank you for watching.